Okay, so in the first part of this question, we need to create two equations or a system of equations uh, based on the situation given. So Alyssa spent $35 total and she purchased 12 chickens. So just based on that alone, we can create our first equation where A represents the number of Americana chickens and D represents the number of Delaware chickens. So our first equation is simple. All we're going to do is add those two values together, which would be 12 chickens because we're told she purchased a total of 12 chickens. The next equation we're going to use is based on the price that she spent $35, and we know that the Americana chickens cost $3.75 each. So we're going to do 3.75 multiplied by A plus 250 multiplied by D because the Delaware chickens are $2.50 each. So I'm just going to write 2.5 for that. And we know the total amount that she spent must equal $35. Okay, now with that done, we are being asked to determine how many of each type of chicken she purchased. So we essentially need to solve this system of equations. And the method I'm going to use to do that is substitution. So in this first equation here, we can isolate A by subtracting D from both sides. So A is going to equal 12 minus D. Okay, so now with that done, I'm going to take the second equation and replace A with 12 minus D, just like this. So we're going to have 3.75 multiplied by 12 minus D plus 2.5D equals 35. And now that we have this equation with one variable, we can solve it. Okay, so we're going to get started by expanding this and get rid of these brackets. So 3.75 times 12 is 45. Then it's going to be minus 3.75D plus 2.5D equals 35. Great. Next, we can combine these two terms here. Negative 3.75 plus 2.5 is negative 1.25D. And then just to save some time here, I'm also going to do an extra step right away by subtracting this 45 from both sides of the equation, canceling that out. So now what we're left with is negative 1.25D is equal to negative 10. I just got that from doing 35 minus 45. Okay, and for our last step to isolate D, we're going to divide everything by negative 1.25. So that cancels out, negative 1.25. And we get an answer that the number of Delaware chickens she bought is 8. Okay. Now remember we are also told that she purchased a total number of 12 chickens, right? So if she bought 8 Delaware chickens, well then that means she must have purchased 4 of the Americana chickens, okay? Simple enough. Okay, so for the last part of the question here, we're told that each Americana chicken lays 2 eggs per day. So because she purchased 4, that means that she's getting 8 of those eggs in a day. And each Delaware chicken lays 1 egg per day. And we know that she purchases 8 of them in a day. So we can go ahead and add those 8 chickens to that total. So we're being asked to determine how much money she expects to take in at the end of her first week with these 12 chickens, right? So how many days in a week? There are 7, okay? So we need to take that into account here. So we're going to take those 16 eggs she's producing per day. We have to multiply that by 7 because there's 7 days in the week. So that gives us a total of 112 chickens that are being produced in the week. However, we were also told that she only sells the eggs by the full dozen for $2.50. Okay, so we need to figure out how many dozens that is. To do that, we can take the 112 and divide it by 12, which gets us 9.3 repeating. So because of that, she can only sell it 9 complete dozen sets of eggs, right? So because they sell for $2.50 each, we're going to take the 9 packages that she can sell, multiply it by the price of $2.50 to get a total value of $22.50 that she would earn. So that was a pretty complex question, but I hope everything made sense and that was helpful. And thanks for visiting JD's Preparation.